This is an SUV, Mahindra's XUV 700. This is an MPV, Toyota's Innova HyCross, rebadged as Maruti Suzuki's Invicto. I'm only stating the obvious because of the previous gen Innovas, which really were SUVs in disguise. The Innova wrapped the practicality of 3 rows of seats with proper old-school SUV toughness. They used ladder frame chassis, they were rear-wheel drive, while modern-day SUVs used car-like monocoque chassis and front-wheel drive. Was it because Toyota was holding on to something special or just being Toyota? Slow. Either ways, Toyota has moved into the modern era. The Invicto and the HyCross on which it's based are built just like this XUV. So the question is, given Toyota's reputation, will its MPV now show the SUVs how things are done? Will it be tougher? Or will the XUV show the Invicto how to be a better people mover? The short answer to both is no. Now for the long answer. First, you tell me which of these two looks more SUV. To me, from the front, it's the MPV that looks tougher and bigger. It is bigger, but it's also trying to look bigger. It's puffed out all its panels like the hood and the fenders. It makes the Mahindra seem restrained in comparison. Its design is tight and athletic, but it's got dramatic details like the LED signatures, which means you can spot this from a kilometer away. But it does lose a little bit of classiness because of it. The Invicto is in a class above when it comes to its size, which is amply clear from the side. It looks massive. It makes its 17-inch wheels seem tiny in comparison. Also, from the side, you can make out its MPV DNA clearly. The 18 inches on the XUV look good and right for its size. But the XUV's design is at its weakest from the side. It feels incomplete somehow. Part of it is down to those door handles, I feel. When compared from the rear, the XUV looks futuristic. The Invicto looks old school. In essence, the XUV feels like a modern, big city machine, whereas the Invicto feels a bit more traditional. Not elegant, but makes up for it with presence. The XUV's cabin is a surprising contrast to its personality on the outside, which seems youthful and sporty. On the inside, it feels sophisticated and mature. The choice of lighter colors and simpler lines make it feel expensive. It actually feels more premium than the Invicto, which is more expensive than the Mahindra. The Invicto is a bit of a surprise. It doesn't feel as modern or as premium as you would have expected it to be. Definitely not at this price point. The all-black interior also is a strange choice for an MPV. It eats into the sense of space. The one good thing about it is it hides the tougher plastics better than on the HyCross. There's an industrial 80s feel about the Invicto, with the size of its cup holders, the design for its dashboard, and some details like the ambient lighting for the sunroof and the air conditioning system for the second row. Those look straight out of Doc Brown's time. The touchscreen infotainment system is far from rich, and the 360-degree camera's quality is poor. In comparison, the XUV 700 feels modern. It has great rich screens, and the Sony sound system is far better. But the Invicto has front ventilated seats, which the XUV does not. The Invicto makes the XUV's other features seem like frills with the kind of space on offer. 6-footers will lounge easily in the front seats, and the second row actually feels limo-like. It's not that the XUV is cramped, but in comparison, it does feel small. The Invicto goes a step further. It's offering you captain seats, which are big, they hold you well, they're meant to be traveled in. It has sun blinds for the rear windows, it has a dedicated air conditioning system, all of which just make it so much more enjoyable while traveling. In the third row, the XUV is at a disadvantage. Adults won't enjoy spending time there because headroom is tight and it does feel claustrophobic there. Getting in and out isn't easy either because the doors are small. The Invicto's third row is excellent. Adults can spend an entire day there, and the big advantage is, with 3 rows in use, There's enough space left over to pack luggage for the weekend. The XUV can't compare on this front either. So it's clear that the MPV has the advantage when it comes to space and comfort. Does it hold the advantage when it hits the road as well? On the road, the Invicto is like a big old cat. It moves softly, smoothly, with a sense of plushness. It can move fast, confidently too, but it just prefers not to. A graceful pace is more its scene. The strong hybrid engine in stop-go traffic is like an electric, quiet and quick. To be chauffeured around in, it will feel limo-like. To drive around in the city, it will be easier than you imagine. It is car-like. The mood in the Invicto is confident but laid back, perfect for urban motoring. Nothing comes close to this. This diesel XUV is very different. It feels like a big thoroughbred that's just raring to go. It's well behaved, so it will trot and be good for everyday use, but given the chance to gallop, it will infect you with its enthusiasm. It pushes you back in your seat every time you accelerate. On the highway, it just feels at home, cruising, overtaking, all effortlessly and quietly. The HyCross is excellent for highway use too. It can cruise just as easily and it can move just as quickly. The only catch is when you want to change pace, you can hear that engine work inside the cabin. On the highway, the Invicto's quietness advantage also disappears. You of course hear the engine more. Also, the road passing vehicles like trucks and buses feel more apparent. The XUV is great on highways and it's fun on mountain roads. You'll enjoy how quickly it turns and the confidence it has through the bends. So if you enjoy driving, this is the better pick. Instead, if you want to be chauffeured around or don't mind slowing the pace down, the Invicto will be the more enjoyable pick. A big advantage for the Invicto is its fuel efficiency. It is better in the city, but it manages to stretch every liter of petrol as well, if not better, than the XUV does with a liter of diesel. What happens when the going gets rough? Turns out this Toyota in disguise is no longer a SUV in disguise. This MPV is good, but that SUV is excellent. The XUV 700 feels relaxed over broken roads. It gets smoother the faster you drive it. Its design helps. It's got the right ground clearance, it's lighter in weight, it's got beefier tires, short overhangs, all of which make it easier even for rougher conditions. It makes a great point that ladder frame chassis aren't needed for even the roughest of roads. The XUV's headlamps deserve a special mention. They are brilliant, literally. So driving at night, even in dusty conditions, is painless. The Invicto is also painless to travel with over rougher stuff. You just have to go a bit slower. The suspension is on the plush side. It feels enjoyable. If you try to go as fast as the XUV, it will feel a bit bouncy. You will feel its size and weight through the deeper potholes. It thunks through. Keep in mind, it's riding on 17-inch wheels, whereas the HyCross's top spec variants use 18 inches. So the difference between SUV and MPV is clear. The Invicto deals with the rough stuff just fine. The XUV thrives in it, and that's without factoring in the optional all-wheel drive. The Invicto has its own trump card, its reliability factor. I feel silly saying this now. It should have been obvious. But the XUV is more SUV. The Invicto and the HyCross, by extension, are better MPVs. The Invicto's appeal is its lavishness and sense of calm because of the space on the inside and the way the strong hybrid powertrain works, especially in the city. The XUV's appeal is its fun and enthusiastic personality because of the diesel's performance and the way it drives. This is more city-friendly. This is more highway-friendly. Which one should you choose? When comparing between different body styles and segments, the answer usually will be, it depends. So long as you know what you prefer, whether it is to drive or to be driven in, whether you want to explore carelessly or to travel conveniently, you'll have your answer. As for me, this started with 7-seaters. As much as the enthusiasm and the excitement of the XUV 700 wants me to pick it, the Invicto is the more convenient and more versatile package. It may not be as SUV as the XUV, but it's still enough.